It's not you, it's me. I think we're better off as friends. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. We've all heard them. A couple of us have used them, and some of us have been victim to them. And we know that these statements hurt a lot more than they should because our now ex-partner doesn't mean what they say, but they also don't have the words to tell us how they really feel. And that's kind of the hard part about breaking up, is that we don't want to hurt the other person, but we also don't want to stay in the relationship, which is why we use such merciful scapegoats as a way of getting out of the said relationship. Because breakups, they're also kind of really awkward. Like, you don't know kind of how to say or what to say to them, and they're hard to do, but they also bring you one step closer to who you're really meant to be, and they bring you one step closer to finding that person that you're actually meant to be with. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to elevate our breaking up skills. It's time to be franker and kinder. It's time to be better. Because through these relationships and all these breaking ups, they bring us closer, and so we want to be kinder, and so that we can be able to move on from such a thing. And so Olivia Petter, who wrote an article about breaking up and how to be kind during it, she suggested many ways of breaking up with different types of relationships. One is the relationship where you get dumped out of nowhere, or you dump someone out of nowhere. These out-of-the-blue breakups are really rough for the person because they didn't see it coming at all. They weren't ready. They had no hints, no idea of what was happening and going on in the brain of their partner, and so they hurt a lot. But in these relationships, it's best to be kind when you're doing this. You want to let them know the problem was, whether it was them, you, or situation, and then you want to give them friendly advice afterwards, and most importantly, you want to give them space so they can have time to come to terms with those emotions. The second is the relationship that just fizzles. This is when both partners kind of lose interest in each other, but they won't take that step to cut it off and break it off. And so by staying in a relationship like this, you're not allowing yourself to grow. You're not allowing yourself to be able to seek in new opportunities and become better. And so it's kind to you and your partner to end it, and you guys will be grateful for it in the future. The third one is a relationship where your partner's abusive, whether it's emotional, physical, or they're cheating. In these relationships, Olivia Petter suggests that you need to cut it off. You need to remove yourself from that situation. And although it may not be kind to your abusive partner, it's also important to be kind to yourself. And then you do not want to contact them afterwards to refrain from opening any other doors or possibilities. The fourth one is the rarest one, which is the mutual breakup. So this is the one where both partners decide that, you know what, we're better off not together. And you guys talk it through and you figure out what will work and what won't, and then you break up. And in these ones, you want to be kind to your partner and to yourself by being open, and then you do not want to talk bad about them afterwards or kind of say things that you weren't open about during the breakup, so that you both know the situation that's going on. Now, there are two breakups that you want to avoid completely when you are being kind to someone while breaking up with them. The first one is when you go on breaks. So you break up, you get back together, you cheat on them, then you get back together, and in these ones, you're just opening yourself to be hurt more and more often, and you just prolong the inevitable of a hopeless relationship. And so you want to break up where it is and be kind to them and be kind to yourself and allow yourself to move on. And then the other one is ghosting. This is when you decide to not contact them ever again out of the blue, and this does not give them any kind of closure. They have no idea what happened. They don't know if it was them or you or anything, and so you don't want to ghost them because that does not allow you guys to have a finished, complete relationship. And so avoid these two measures at all costs in these two ways, because that's not being kind in any way, shape, size, or form. Now, as I said earlier, we all know that there's different kinds of breakups. As I said, there's 6 different kinds I just spoke of, but there's also millions of other ones because we have unique individual personalities and people, and therefore unique relationships. And so it's kind of hard, but there's a general outline that kids' health medical experts give when breaking up with someone. And so they have a couple steps. First, you want to tell them that you have something important to say, so that they kind of know this is going to be a serious conversation. Then you want to tell them something that you value in them or the relationship, so that they know that there were good times, but there were also bad ones. So you want to tell them what's not working, what the problem is, what's the reason for breaking up. And then you need to give them the specific statement that you guys are going to break up so that they understand what the situation is, what is going on. Afterwards, you can console them, you can tell them that you're sorry, give them advice, and then you want to listen to what they have to say in response so that you allow them to have an opinion in the matter. And finally, afterwards, most importantly, you need to give them space. You need to allow them to come to terms with their emotions in the situation, and so that they can have the closure that you already had, that they are allowed to have too. Because we are all fair and equal in these kinds of relationships. And adjusting afterwards, every breakup is going to hurt. Every breakup is going to, like, you're going to feel that kind of empty space that they're going to leave behind, whether or not you actually enjoyed the relationship or you, like, felt something during the relationship, you're still going to feel something afterwards. And so the Planned Parenthood suggests that you allow yourself to feel those emotions, that you can reach out to friends or family for support, and that even if, like, you can still decide that you don't want to be friends with them afterwards. Like, you don't have to remain in contact, and that's an important thing to understand because every breakup is going to hurt, and then you need to be able to come to terms with that in your own way, in your own time. Ladies and gentlemen, breakups are rough. They're hard, they hurt, but we're all human, and so it's a part of being human. Loving opens yourself up to be hurt, but it also opens you up to having extreme amount of joy that you won't have any other way. And so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of breaking up. Don't be afraid of falling in love. Don't be afraid of relationships. Those are what allows us to be human beings. I wish you the best of luck in love and life. Thank you.